Oh my
Man.
God, the gay
But
agenda strikes again.
this is Shana,
And Kris.
and we are Bad Queers. If you came out of the closet and got put in a box of stereotypes you don't belong to, then welcome to the Bad Queers Club.
All right, this week in Queer Urban Dictionary, I have Sappho Daddio, which is a term for a straight man who spends most of his time with lesbian women. My sentence is Jason Sudeikis is currently the president of the Sappho Daddio Club, at least for the white queer girls. So,
Mm-hmm. White
yes,
sports queer girls. He's all about it.
right there, all the time.
I feel like it's just because he wants free gym time.
I don't know. I don't know. He's interesting. He's interesting one. But and again, yeah, just for the white queers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. So he is certainly a president of that chapter of the
Yes.
Sappho Daddy-O Club.
Self-proclaimed president.
Yes.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
but what a wonderful ambassador for sports for that side of things. So what you got?
All right. My queer urban dictionary word of the week is NPNC. On Grinder, this stands for no pick, no chat, which I feel like is energy that we need to use more on the dating apps. So my sentence is a fact from our dating app days, because as you all know, Kris and I worked at a dating app together. Folks who fill out their profiles get more action. So if you NPNC, you're missing out.
Hmm.
NPNC. All right, let's go ahead and praise, pray tell. Our first category is so there was an investigation into Nex Benedict's death. If you remember earlier this year, we reported on this, and there has been an update. So the investigation found Nex Benedict's school district was deliberately indifferent to harassment complaints. So this comes from them. And here are some details. So nearly 9 months after the death of non-binary Choctaw high schooler Nex Benedict in Oklahoma, the U.S. Department of Education announced this week that Owasso Public Schools had repeatedly violated Title 11 for years by ignoring reports of sexual harassment and abuse, creating an unsafe learning environment for students. In a press release on Wednesday from the Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights, officials reported that sexual harassment and related bullying had run rampant at Owasso Public Schools for years, up to and including the February 2024 bathroom fight that preceded Benedict's death. Investigators found that the district responded informally and inadequately to a string of Title 11 complaints, which included multiple reports of sex-based slurs, harassment, and physical assault, an incident involving sexual harassment of an elementary schooler, and one case of alleged grooming on social media by a teacher, in addition to the attack that hospitalized Benedict. As a result of the investigation, Owasso Public Schools entered into a voluntary resolution agreement with the OCR, which lays out a plan for the district to address those complaints and comply with Title 11 requirements. They will also go back and review any complaints that happened in 2021 and 2022. But there was a person in this article that talked about the fact that all they have seen is an increase in bullying ever since this incident happened with Nex.
Hmm.
And that is no surprise for them to say that they voluntarily went into something, but that just means they're going to continue to do whatever they do whenever, it's like whenever the teacher leaves the classroom. I feel
Yeah.
like it's this energy.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Nex Benedict. All right. Moving on, we have our next category is the kiss that we'll never see, or maybe it'll be in the director's cut.
I'm upset.
So
I'm upset.
we'll never see this
Denzel
kiss.
gave everything in this interview.
Yeah,
Everything
it's
we
been
needed.
great. The press run has been great, and also not as pronounced as Wicked, but they've had a good rollout. I mean, it's Denzel, it's Pedro Pascal,
Hmm.
whatever. Anyhow, Denzel Washington revealed that a same-sex kiss film for Gladiator II was cut from the final movie. Um, so this is the sequel. If folks didn't see Gladiator, the first one, it was a 2000 blockbuster, kicked off the millennium with a
Hmm.
good 3 hour movie. But he said he kissed a co-star for a since deleted moment. he asked how gay this revelation came after he was asked how gay or was talking about how gay the Roman Empire was. And he said he actually kissed a man in the film, but they took it out. They cut it. I think they got chicken. He said, I kissed a guy full on the lips, and I guess they weren't ready for that yet. So he said before joking that in the sequence, he killed him about 5 minutes later. So it was like a kiss of death situation. Um, I can only imagine that when the execs saw this, they were like, nope, not doing this. not not letting this happen. I know if this was added to the movie, some folks would lose their mind. They'd be like, oh my
Man.
God, the gay
But
agenda strikes again.
I'm also
Not
like,
Denzel.
would they get over it? Because one, it was Denzel, and two, because he ends up killing the guy a few minutes later.
Maybe. Well, no, they wouldn't because they would be like, he didn't have to kiss him. Like it still would be like, there's no reason to kiss him. They just wanted to add gay stuff. It's all agenda. It would go agenda. Like now they got Denzel on the agenda before he retires because he's gonna buy NBC a lot
Six
of projects.
films that he
Yeah.
was going to be in that are not, and mind you, films aren't just filmed in like
Mm-mm.
3 to 5 months. Those are
Right.
year-long processes. And the fact that he
Yeah.
was like just asked to be in Black Panther 3, which brings me much joy that he did
Yeah.
that. But also, who's going to tell him that he probably shouldn't have said that there was a Black Panther 3? Who knows? But it doesn't matter because it's Denzel and he's going to do what he wants. And that's going to
Is that
take
like a
a
secret?
minute.
I
I
thought that
mean,
they were,
I didn't
you
think that
know.
they had like officially announced that, and I'm sure that they wanted to do it in a way, and Denzel was just like, I'm gonna be in this movie, I'm gonna be in this movie, and he was like,
That's
you know
probably
what,
the best way to announce
I
that
am
there's another
ending
one
my
coming.
career with Black Panther. He listed a bunch of other things that he's doing, which will at least take him minimum to 75,
Mm-hmm.
and then he'll retire. Like
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
like it's happening next year, y'all. So anybody who was
Yeah.
panicking about him retiring, he is in multiple films. They will take years because all of his films are very in depth and very
Mm-hmm.
action oriented, and you have to get all of these permits
Yeah.
and
Most of them.
permissions and
Most of
things
them, at
done.
least.
So that's
Yeah.
that's going to take some time. We're still going to have Denzel for a bit. Plus, his son is out here, so we just have the next
His
coming.
children,
Oh yeah, because he has
his
multiple.
daughters. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they're all in
Yeah. His
here.
children.
So
His children. His
he's
wife
he's
is on
left us a
reasonable doubt.
legacy.
So, you
Mm.
know,
So we're
yeah.
good.
And he has
We're good.
whole, you know, like you said, I mean, it's Denzel. He has a whole catalog. You could go back and always enjoy Denzel. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's gonna be a while before he actually retires. But you know, he just putting y'all on notice. So
He did put us on notice, and that
got
was
some
very
plays
kind of
coming up,
him.
some movies like the Black Panther
Very
thing was like,
kind
oh,
of
that
him.
makes sense. Um, so yeah, we'll see. Shout out to Denzel, and maybe they have a physical copy. There's a director's cut where there's a kiss, but we just will never know.
I want that.
There's somebody walking this earth that is some man has kissed Denzel.
And possibly more than once because they probably had to get the scene
Yeah,
from
maybe,
different angles and stuff. So congrats to
maybe.
that person.
Yeah, yeah. The outrage we missed out on because that would have been so funny to see.
Glorious. I would have sat
But
front
y'all still
row
gonna see it.
enjoying
Like,
it.
y'all aren't gonna boycott anything.
Front row.
So, yeah, and it would have made sense. It would have, yeah, I could see it. So
Would have been so great.
yeah,
So great.
Can't wait until it comes out. All right. Last category. Let's catch up on what we're watching, what we finished watching, what we're gonna start.
Mhm.
Yeah. Category is what we're watching.
Well,
So
I just finished the All-American season, the most recent
hmm,
All-American season. I am very invested in that series. I am also now into the All-American spinoff Homecoming, so I'm on their newest season as well,
hmm,
which I have thoroughly enjoyed. It's like
yeah.
low enough energy, but entertainment plus it mixes in just like football and stuff too. So
Hmm,
it brings in arts, it brings in football. It's a show after my own heart because it has my two things that I love is just music and sports. So
hmm. Okay.
joy.
Is it a musical?
No,
Okay. Okay.
no, it's
Hmm.
not.
Okay. I probably start with my watched list, the things that
Oh,
I
okay. Okay.
finished.
All right.
I saw this on your list. Nobody wants this. Absolutely press play. I am an Adam Brody fan.
Okay.
Seth Cohen forever.
That's next on my list.
The OC film, and it was wonderful. It was very good, well written. Very. I'd actually rewatch it this season, but it was really good. Very excited for what they do for season 2.
Hmm.
Staying on Netflix. Did you see the movie Rebel Ridge with
No.
I don't know his name, but he is a really gorgeous actor, but it was really good. It was about like a corrupt town with cops and all that, but and he was a Marine and they dirty cops, Marine. You get the
Yep.
picture. So it was an
Hmm.
action movie, but it was really well written and acted. This is what's his name? Let's see what his name is. Aaron Pierre. Aaron Pierre
Hmm.
was really good in that. So I recommend that. That was a really good movie. Hadn't seen a like an action movie in a while that wasn't just explosions and fighting. So this one was really good. And it is on Netflix. And then the last thing that two other movies that I watched that were pretty good. And one of them's a Netflix movie. I watched Women of the Hour,
Hmm.
which was a true story about um set in the 70s, but it was a serial killer who went on a dating show. And they found out later he was a serial killer. But like it was, I mean, trigger warning throughout, but it's based on Anna Kendrick starred and directed in it. And really good to watch. It was a good watch. It's a hard watch. And again, I didn't know this story. Like it's a true story of this guy who's a again serial killer. They have him having like maybe over 100 bodies, but that he was convicted of like some lower amount. But he went on like the maybe it was just a dating show, literally. And yeah, she had to navigate around that. It was just crazy to watch, but I would recommend Women of the Hour. And then I watched Blink Twice, which is Zoe Kravitz's debut movie. Also, trigger warning on that one too. That one was pretty rough, but it was interesting. I don't know how I feel about the ending for it, but
Hmm.
it was interesting to say the least. So yeah, I've been more so in movie world. I've been doing some TV, but a lot of movies lately. So,
Nice.
what
Yeah,
have you watched
I
with
have jumped
your
back into TV world because I had avoided it for a while. Now we're back.
Mhm.
So yeah, so currently, like I said, All American Homecoming. Um, I am halfway through How to Die Alone, and
Mm,
it is fantastic.
too. It
It
is.
is
Yeah, that's on my
fantastic.
watching. It's so good. I'm on like episode 4, but it's so
Oh my
good.
God. Wait until you get to the Thanksgiving episode, which I think is
Yeah,
episode 5. I was like, I need to send this episode to everybody. The Thanksgiving episode is fantastic
it's
and
hilarious. Yeah.
so fucked up and so fantastic at the same time. And I absolutely love it. The more that I was watching it and got involved, I was like, episode 2 had me already in and done. I
Hmm.
was just like, this is so fucked up, but also
It is.
great because you're
It's
like
great.
reclaiming stuff for yourself, but like in a very fucked up way. And who am I
Mm.
to argue?
Yeah.
Who am I to argue?
Natasha Rothwell's pen and just acting. It's so good.
It's so
I've
good.
enjoyed it so far. It's really good. I'm very interested. Shalay already finished it. I'm
Hmm.
going through it now. So we'll see. But it's so good.
It's
I love
great.
that
Like
stuff.
I'm probably gonna watch another episode right after we finish recording because
Mm.
it's been a great dinner watch for me. Just to like
Yeah.
sit and it's
Yeah.
a perfect amount of
Yeah.
time to sit and like have my dinner and watch it and just giggle throughout my dinner. And if I'm eating fast, then Abbott Elementary. Abbott Elementary's on. And I
Abbott's
just
been good.
it's so funny because I keep being like, I don't know why I have this thought in my head of like we're gonna run out of material. But there is so much shit that
Oh
happens at
no.
schools
Yeah.
that they will never run out of content. They will never run out of
Mm-mm.
material that they can talk about. The way that they lean into all of the school stereotypes is iconic.
It's so funny. Yeah, they'll
Iconic.
never run out of stories with
No.
schools. Like this year with the gentrification and the golf course and them getting
So
the
funny.
computers and everything is so funny. Ava having a probable love interest with the IT guy is really funny, where she's just
Great.
like care less about like picking up the signs that he's putting down.
The
Um,
animals.
the animals. Did you see the episode with Melissa like refusing to get medical help? She like tripped at the beginning of the episode. I think
No, I don't
this
think
was the
so.
last one because this was the
No.
dad fight episode. Okay, this is the last one.
No, no.
The dad fight episode.
I only just got to
Hilarious.
Halloween.
Okay.
I'm at
Halloween was
Halloween.
funny too. Have you seen
Halloween is
Halloween or
hilarious.
you're
Yes, I
okay,
have
you've
seen
seen it.
Halloween.
That Jurassic
Yes.
Park show is so funny
They were
though.
like,
That ass.
this is specific. Like I was like, I don't remember the times when they could have never said that on TV.
I
Like
know. That's
ever.
what's so funny about it. They even did a rich boy. It was Ava and Mr. Johnson was singing Throw Some Deeds. Like I was like the the level and the deepness of the depth of jokes is just unmatched on that show.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, look at them like singing lines from Throw Some D's.
So good.
Yeah, that was a good episode. I feel like I'm forgetting one of the other earlier episodes. It's fun to see them together. It was funny them not wanting to tell in the season
Oh, the
premiere that they
stress.
didn't want to
The
tell
stress.
anybody. And it's like everybody's like, we
We all
know.
know.
Like what?
Um,
Like,
the when they got sick, when all this ringworm.
oh, ringworm. Yeah, the ringworm episode. It's hilarious.
She was just
It's
like,
just so funny.
the Lord has kept me from this. And it's like, Barb, you have it. And the Lord has said, I need to go home. Goodbye. Good day. I will see you in a week. Like,
Even the letter the mom wrote to get the boy back in school that
right.
Jacob was reading. It's like, I'm not the one, the two. So send me home at 3. He was like, is this a riddle? It's just like so stupid. Like it's just, I mean, shout out to Brittany Nichols. Y'all go back and watch our episode with Brittany Nichols, but the writing on that show is just
So good.
it's so good.
So
It's so
good.
good. It's so good.
Mm-mm-mm.
My cousin recommended English Teacher because she doesn't actually like Abbott Elementary, so I should stop listening to her for
First of
things
all,
because I
what?
just don't. She says it's too predictable, and I was like, "What?" But she's only watched like a couple of episodes of season 1. So anyway,
What?
she was like raving about the English Teacher being a better show, and I
Why
was like,
does your
"I'll
cousin
check it
keep
out,"
moving down the list of
but she
questionable
likes
things
Caitlin
that she
Clark.
says?
So
Exactly. That's
that's
why I was like, that's
all
where we're
that should
slippery
inform where
sloping.
she's going. Like this is like the QAnon of, for her. So Caitlin Clark
I feel
has
like she
really
is a
had her spiral
walking
out.
bad queer opinion.
She is. She is. She absolutely is. I do want to check out the English Teacher. I heard it is funny, but yeah, I was like, I'm not even gonna fight her on trying to watch Abbott because I was like, if you don't, as a person who is into comedy like she is, I was like, it's incredibly lazy that you watch 3 episodes and
Mm-hmm.
said no, it's predictable because it's anything but you
Mm-hmm.
got it. Like I'm like,
Like, good for
don't
you.
be in the hive.
It's fine.
Like there's enough Abbott Elementary people.
It's fine.
So yeah. One other show I've been watching, and this isn't like a series or anything, but the reboot of Have I Got News for You, which is a CNN show, and it comes on Saturdays. I don't watch it on Saturdays, but I'll watch it on YouTube. But it's
Mm-hmm.
Amber Ruffin, Roy Woods, and Michael Ian Black, and it's like news but game show format. Again, this is a remake of a British show where they go through actual headlines and it's kind of like a game show quiz show, but it's really enjoyable to watch with given all the news. So shout out to them for that because it's actually really good. I hope CNN puts money into promoting it harder, but people aren't going to watch it on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But the YouTube's has been good to just rewatch it and the people that they have on the panel. It's just a funny show. It's a funny way to consume actual news. And all 3 of them are great. Like it's Roy Woods is great, Michael Ian Black, and of course Amber Ruffin. So shout out to Have I Got News for You. Um, I said on another show, Aaron Hernandez, American Sports Story. I gotta watch the last episode, I think just got out where it's like where he dies. So interesting to see how they close it out.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else happening that's coming out that I want to see? I feel like again I'm stuck kind of in a movie world of things. I still need to double back to Shogun, and that's kind of next on my list after I
Mm-hmm.
finish How to Die Alone. I was like, let me go back
Mm-hmm.
to Shogun. But I feel pretty good about my list. I feel pretty good about the mix of movies that I have in here. So yeah,
Love it. Love
yeah,
it. Yeah. I was like, I'm
feel
still
cool.
working my way through 911, still working my way through Law and Order SVU. So all my propaganda.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to
yeah.
the audience. It's
No,
Olivia
no,
Benson, and
yeah.
911 has Black queer folks in it, and like the Black
It's
lesbian representation with like all of the mix, plus and Angela Bassett, plus
mhm.
the stories are just so absurd that I'm
They're
like,
so stupid. Yeah,
how?
I had to
And then they
stop. I
catch me with
couldn't.
like 1 or 2 very predictable emotional episodes, and they catch me because I'll watch them on the planes, and then I get my little cry out, and then I'm good to go. But
Mm.
honestly, I will keep watching that show because lesbian
You cry on the
and
planes.
Angela Bassett.
You're a
Yeah.
public weeper. Wow, really?
I
I would not
I
think
no, I'm
of
not a
that.
public
Really?
weeper. I am a
Okay.
plane weeper.
Wow. Okay.
Specific.
Wow.
One, did you know when you go up in the air
Mm-hmm.
because of the cabin pressure, you are more likely to cry?
Really?
Yes.
No.
Fun fact.
I did
So,
not.
whenever you watch films that are like sad on the plane, you are it's almost like guaranteed that you were going to cry. So I will watch my
Mm,
sad films on the plane because I don't really cry that often. And
mm.
we're working on this in therapy. But
Yeah, I was like,
it's a guaranteed place for me to get my feelings out, you know?
like sitting next to somebody crying, like, Jesus
But
Christ.
I keep it subtle. It's just like
Okay.
it just goes down.
It's just
I'm
like, are
wiping
you
it
okay?
off. I'm
Because I'm
not
gonna
just
ask.
like
Like, it's just
I'm
like,
not you see me watching
I
something. So it's not
love
like I'm sitting
that
and
you
staring out the
want to
window
get
and crying.
thousands of thousands of feet in the air to cry. Like you know the fact that you could cry, you're more susceptible to cry,
Yeah.
and you line up sad movies and you actually cry is just again,
Yeah.
I don't know who I pod with. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you do. Just
I
and
feel
then you're
like
about to go on a long trip. By the time people listen to this, you'll already be in South Africa. So like what is your game plan? Like, are you gonna like split
look,
up
I'm not gonna
your
watch it the whole time.
time? I know that's what I say. Are you gonna split
Yeah.
up your time where it's like front load the sad movies and cries so then you could maybe get into a
Look,
good
if
sleep?
I can
Like,
do
how
it
does this
before I
work?
go to sleep, because then
Mhm.
I'll get exhausted
Yeah.
and then I'll pass out. So I
Wow.
let all these emotions out and then I'm gonna pass the fuck out and then I get to sleep. It's a
That's
foolproof
quite
plan.
a strategy. Wow.
Foolproof plan is
Wow.
what this is. But yeah, no. Sometimes when I've gone like months without crying, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
you know what? I know there's a lot of feelings
Yeah.
built
Yeah.
up in here, and I need to let them out in some way, shape, or form. So then I will pick a sad movie. I did accidentally on a recent flight
You pick travel. You're like,
pick
let me
a
book a
movie
flight so I
that
could
I didn't
cry.
realize how devastating it was, and it was like a cancer movie, and I didn't know it was a cancer movie. I thought it was Standing in Bars with Cake
Mm,
with Yara Shahidi. And like her best
mm,
friend gets cancer. It's on Prime.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I just was like, oh, Yara Shahidi. So I'm gonna watch it. I watched it and I got through, and then they got to the diagnosis, and I was like, oh no, I've picked like this is not just a regular like let me let some tears out. This is like I am going
Yeah.
to snot and cry
I
type
was gonna say there's
film.
some
And I was like, no,
nose
no,
action.
I'm not. I
Mm.
don't have enough tissues for that. I have tissues for like romantic comedy, little love
Wow.
story, little light dying.
Do you
I
only
use that
watch
light dying, but
sad
yeah.
movies or do you do the
No, I don't
rom-com
just
thing
watch
where you're
sad
like, oh
movies.
my God, I'm so happy they're together. Like they
I'm
both
not,
so
that's
wow.
not wild. I add it into the rotation. I
Mm.
add a sad movie into the rotation. Not every flight.
Wow.
Not every flight. A lot of time it's like my top three. I usually watch action movies and then those like long, more deep stories that I usually don't sit down to pay attention to, but I'm like, I have nothing else
I
to
feel like
do and I
Shogun
can't play
would
on
be
my phone.
perfect.
Like Shogun would be
This would be
absolutely perfect
perfect.
for a
Yeah.
flight because I'm like, I'm not on my phone. I literally,
Hmm.
I rarely turn on my texts on my phone. I'm like,
Hmm.
no, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
So like those type of films where I'm like, oh, I feel like I might have to have deeper thought or I might actually have to pay attention and I don't have
Hmm.
anything else to do, I will watch those films. Action films, so I watch
Hmm.
them on my iPad and I enjoy them thoroughly. Don't know why, but I'm
Wow.
like more blow them up, shoot them up. All those films I will watch on flights and then like comedies. And I cackle in my seat as well. I will openly laugh. I have woken up people
Mm.
as I'm watching my films, and I do feel bad when I wake them up, but it's like I try and hold back the laugh, and then it's like, ha! And I'm like, sorry.
That's like a rude one too because it's just so quiet. Ah! It's just like, whoa. Sorry. Sorry.
I do, and I like tap my feet as well when I laugh at it. So it's like,
Wow. Tickled on the plane. Wow, you know, you do travel a lot, so it is I guess it makes sense that you get through things on your
I do.
plane. You're
I
like,
do.
this first 90 minutes, let me set it up so I could cry, take a nap. Wow. Wow.
All the things. Look,
Interesting.
like you said, the amount that I travel, I have
Travel.
to experience the
Awful lot.
feels. Okay, so I have to
Yeah,
experience
yeah.
the things, and I can't just shut it down on a plane. I'm on this
Mhm.
flight with people who do not know who I am. I will never see you again. Let me just live, and it's a perfect moment to do that.
Did you cry on the plane and then say, am I more susceptible to crying on a plane and like Google it? Or like, how did you find this
No,
fact
because it
out
happened
about the
multiple
planes?
times in a short
Okay.
amount of time. And I was like, there is something to this because the way
There's something
I've
in this
like
air.
it's especially for movies I had seen and I knew was gonna
Hmm.
happen, and then I got overly emotional. And I was like,
That's
wait
so
a
funny.
second.
Over here crying on Spice World.
Right? Like I'm like, no, 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 no. Why am I getting devastated over this movie I've seen and this
So
part that I
funny.
know is happening? And then I went back and was like, do you get more emotional on planes? And then it explained that with
Mm,
the air pressure
wow.
and whatever else.
And you're like, I'm gonna lean into this.
I did. Once I
Get
learned
a
that,
good
I was
cry.
like, this is a good thing
Yeah.
to do. It's
Maybe
therapeutic.
I should be more intentional about where I cry and how often I cry. Yeah. I don't know where I would go. I feel like I need like to drive out to like a a field or something.
I guess
I
you
don't
doing
know.
that and like blast
Yeah, I
music
would.
and then just
Yeah.
wail.
Yeah, no, I would. I will cry with music. That was my thing. Like, yeah, that was my thing. Like to drive and, if the emotions hit, they hit.
No, that's
But there's a
driving
couple
is the
of
best.
places that are like, there's obviously it's mountains and beautiful out here. So I could find a very scenic place to just cry and be like, look at what God created. Something just you know. So I might do that. Because
You
it
do
does feel
that
good to
and
cry.
report back.
I will. Just my scenic cries. Yeah.
So
Okay.
funny.
Yeah.
Wow,
All
the
right. Well,
sun's
that is
rising and you're
good to
sobbing.
know. Yeah. I would though. I do. I love a good sunrise. Now I will wake up for a sunrise. When I
Mm.
went on my cruise in July, like we had the balcony and everything. So watching the sunrise is just yeah. You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Love
My
that.
friend just went on an Alaska cruise and he also was like, it is unreal how beautiful Alaska is, but just seeing just being out there. And maybe
Hmm.
he cried. He would cry. He's a Libra. He would cry over a
Wow.
sunset or sunrise.
Okay.
Mm, moved by beauty.
Mm.
So, is there anything else? I see on
Queen.
your list of Megan the Stallion. I do want to watch that
I want to
documentary.
watch that,
But
especially
get
because
around to it.
Nika made it.
Yeah.
Was
Yep.
was the
Shout out to
director,
NECA.
producer.
Watch
Yes.
our
So,
episode. Yep. Look at us. We're like, hey, we got an episode for that.
okay.
Abbott,
Hey,
Meg the
hey.
Stallion doc, NECA. Shout out.
That's what
Hmm,
we want to do.
yeah. Anything else? I see Queenie on your list. What is that
I
about?
started.
What is
I
Queenie about? How is it?
started. Queenie is it's great because she is just a black woman, I think in her early 30s, just trying to
Mm,
figure out life.
hmm Okay, well, that's all I need.
And
Mm,
it's great. Like she starts off with like a white boyfriend.
mm,
She's very unfiltered at work, like
mm.
all the things that you would want to watch within
Where
this,
is
and
it
just
set? What city?
England.
New
So it's
York.
even better. It's
Oh, okay,
British. So
okay, right,
makes it
okay.
even more entertaining. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Hits some really big topics. Mom is oblivious to everything. Like, those types of key
Yeah.
stereotypes, but it makes it better because it's British.
Okay.
I've only gotten like one or two episodes in, so my review isn't fantastic, but I am
It's
entertained.
developing.
I'm
Cool.
entertained.
Cool. Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, some things I'm about to
I
watch.
like it.
The new Heartstopper season that just started. I want to watch Nobody Wants This, but I
Chris
think
loves that show.
that's going to be one that I watch on the plane, and I will probably
What?
cry.
Nobody wants this?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a good watch. It's really funny. Kristen Bell is obviously great too in it.
Hmm.
Kristen Bell and Adam Brody are a great rom-com thing. And it's
Yeah.
just funny as fuck. Like the actual script and writing is very funny. So I
Yes.
don't know if you'll cry. I guess you can. I guess you
I know
can
some people
cry.
said it was like emotional at parts. I was like, I don't know. But everybody said it was great to watch like a healthy relationship on TV. And I was like, cool.
You know
I'm
what
okay.
it was? I saw some different articles on it. It was very much like a great 90s rom-com,
Mm,
like
mm,
where it is like it's just a great balance of the writing and the banter and just
hmm.
like enough tension and then like they're from two different worlds in a way. They are and they aren't, but it's good. I mean, it's great. You might cry. I don't know what you would cry about, but you might. Yeah, I don't know what your cry
I'll report back.
threshold is. So
I'll report back.
like
It's
so
pretty high. It's pretty
it's
high.
pretty high.
It's
Okay.
pretty high.
All right. All right.
Like
Okay.
I'm not just crying.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I don't have you just like
I don't
weeping
know.
on like
I was like, I don't know if you believe me,
the
but
opening
it's
credits. just you just couldn't hold it back.
like
Um,
my heart will go on and
yeah,
I'm just like,
it's so
"Ah."
full, so full. Yeah. Is there a musical that you cry on every time?
Rent
Mm,
at
okay.
the I'll Cover You reprise after Angel dies. And
Hmm
Colin sings that, and then everybody gets up, and
hmm
it's at the one part they hit the notes, and I am beside myself
Yeah.
just about every
Is
time.
it every time or most times that you?
Most times,
Most times. Okay.
most time, like I get
Mm.
the feels, but like there's whenever I have to watch that film, that's like my favorite musical,
Oh.
um, and
Oh.
like the one that really got me slippery sloped into musicals. And so
hmm
whenever I do
Mm.
watch it,
The
if
Gateway
I
musical.
watch it for it is the Gateway musical.
Mm.
Whenever I watch it, it's because I needed something.
Mm.
And 9 times out of 10, it's a good cry. And once they hit that part, I'm just like, take me,
Oh,
take me.
hmm.
I already know
You
what's
know,
happening. All the things.
how I know we looked it up before. I won't rehash this, so never
What?
mind. I was gonna say how long is Rent, but I feel like it was too long for me.
It wasn't too
It was
long.
like
Just
two
go
hours and
watch it.
something.
Just go watch
All
it.
that. My mom's here, so maybe I'll sneak a musical in.
Are you
Might
gonna
be
go see
like
Wicked?
Color Purple or something.
Are
I'm
you
not
gonna
gonna
actually
go
watch The Color
see it.
Purple?
I'm not gonna go see Wicked. I'm gonna wait until it's on streaming. So I don't know which musical should I watch first. Like, what would be a good if you only had one? Well, I'll give you two for the end of this year. I'll give you two. And shout out to these blue. I'll give you two. So
I didn't even realize
you
that was a
gotta
thing.
pick. You gotta pick. I think
What two
Wicked.
musicals
I
do
don't
you
think
watch?
Wicked would actually. It probably won't be on
It's not going to be
streaming
streaming.
until 2025.
Yeah.
So we could just kick that. Um, yeah. What two musicals would you want me to see? Is Rent on streaming? I'm
I
sure it
believe
is,
so.
right?
I
Rent
believe so. Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah. But okay,
So
you know what? Because you have to watch The Color Purple. I'm still upset that you haven't. So watch The Color Purple, especially with your mom there. That's the perfect watch with you and your mom.
I guess.
Watch The Color Purple while your mom is there. Okay. And then, okay. Like, I would be joyous if you watched Rent.
Really?
I would be joyous. But I could also give you a holiday one. But does
Mm.
holiday count? Inform me of what the holiday,
Hmm.
because
Holiday
it's not
is a
like a
slippery slope. That is a very slippery
yes,
slope.
that's what I figured. But
Um,
also this one, it's a good one and it has less musical things.
oh,
So it's
what's the
more
name of
like
it?
your threshold of things. Have you seen Jingle Jangle?
No.
Okay. It is
What's that? I was like, what I thought of that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie,
no, this one
Christmas
is
movie,
actually it's
Jingle
like
All the
it.
Way.
No,
Oh,
hold on. Let me look up. Let me
a
look up.
Christmas tree. Jingle
Yes,
Jangle, a
it's on
Christmas tree.
Netflix. It's been on for like the last 3 years.
Oh,
It's my new like favorite Christmas film. And I've been watching it every year
mm-hmm.
since it came out. It came out in 2020.
It's making my
Okay.
chest hurt. I feel like
Why is
a
it making your
heaviness.
chest hurt? It
It's a
has Forrest
heaviness in
Whitaker
my
in
chest.
it, has Felicia Rashad in it, has Keegan Michael Key in it.
Okay.
It's like your threshold of what you could hold for a
Anika
musical.
Noni Rose.
Yes. It's why are you holding your
Mm,
chest like this? Friend.
I
You know
just
what? That's what we're gonna put out there. Because Rent would actually do you worse. I'm actually doing you a favor by saying The Color Purple and then Jingle Jangle instead of saying Rent because
Well, I
you
feel like since I've watched really triggering movies lately, like I could watch something a little. I don't know. I
Jingle.
think I would switch Jingle Jangle out. I don't know if I could deal with like a Christmas
It's not.
musical.
It's not like plays on fucking Jingle Bells or anything. It's like original,
Which
dope,
I love.
great songs.
I know, but I don't know.
Why do you push
I don't
away
know.
from
I don't
things
know.
that will be great for you?
I don't know if that's great for me.
It
I was like,
is.
maybe I want something
And
a little rough,
and I
a little depressing.
was like, your wife will love
Um,
it and your son will love it. So it's a great family event. Your mom will love it. That's
my
great.
mom has absolutely seen this. She has Hallmark Christmas Channel, so she has absolutely seen
This is
this
not on
movie.
Hallmark. This
Probably.
is a Netflix.
I am saying she
Has a
watches
budget.
Hallmark Christmas movies. So she has seen Christmas movies. It doesn't matter what platform it is. She is
All right.
very dedicated to Christmas movies. So she
All
has
right.
absolutely seen
I
this.
watch
I
this
could
every year with my
probably
mom.
text her right now and she's like, oh, Jingle Jingle. Yeah. She is Mrs. Christmas. Like she
You
starts
need to
watching
watch
Christmas
it.
movies in October.
I love that.
So
You go ahead and watch
I
that.
don't know about Jingle Jangle.
You asked me to make
Maybe
the
we're gonna
choices. You don't get to have a say.
yeah, I asked you for choices. I didn't say I was gonna take him. So Rent, maybe. Maybe. And
Watch
then
Rent.
yeah, I guess.
I will give you those three, and out of the three, pick two of them. The Color Purple, Rent,
It's
Jingle
damn sure
Jangle.
ain't Jingle Jangle. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could do Jingle Jangle.
It's such a good movie. All of you listening, please go watch it. It's so good.
Mm,
It's so good. Such a good family
mm,
film.
wow.
The beats are
Yeah,
dropped.
yeah, we'll see between Rent and Color Purple. How much, I mean, which one has more singing?
Rent.
Mm, okay.
Rent.
Okay. It's Color Purple it is.
You said two. You said you watched two.
Let's just do one in a possible. Let's
Wow,
do like a
not one,
spades
not
level
a
of like,
spades
let's
level.
just,
See, the
because
way
we should
that, you know what?
probably
I'm gonna
like,
start asking
we
for
should
more rules at the
probably
start of these things because
roll
you
into, like, we should
renege,
slow
you
roll into
renege,
this.
renege, renege on the
I
regular and
can.
change the rules
I
and do the things
can.
you
Because you're trying to
renege.
set rules based on
No,
what you
I'm
think I
not.
should do.
You
I
said,
don't have to do this.
you
I brought
said,
this up as a
I will watch two
suggestion. I
films
don't
before the end of
have
the
to
year.
watch this.
That's literally
We
what
did
you
not
just
set
said.
this in
We'll
stone. This
watch
is not
movies, two
terms and
movies
I am not making the
before the end of
terms
the
and
year.
conditions of it
You
here. We're
literally just did
talking
by
out loud.
stating you
We are
offered.
talking out
You
loud. That doesn't mean I'm
offered
locked into this.
willingly.
I could lock into zero musicals very easily because this is
My
all up
goodness.
for discussion. So, and again, I was like, should I? Because again, with the world ending, like, should I be watching musicals?
I mean,
And,
hey, it's pieces of
you
joy.
know,
And we've been talking about finding the pieces of
I
joy,
don't
and
know.
musicals are pieces of joy
Okay.
sprinkled in song.
Let y'all have it. Yeah, let's just, you know what? Again, let's just start with the color purple. We don't want to overwhelm me. Since I'll look out for me here because you're like 2, 3, 4. So like I just watch just one and let's just see how it goes. So let's just do the color purple
Fine.
and
I will
then
take it.
maybe rent. So like
Okay.
one in a possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't renege on
And
this.
then I don't know, Jingle Jangle just seemed
It's
you know
so
what? I
cute.
would have never thought you would have picked like that seemed like it just
It felt like
I don't know what I
we were
thought you were
we're
gonna.
in the season. 'Tis the season.
Yeah, that's true.
So
You know what the thing is? It's like I have a weird relationship with Christmas movies now. Like I feel like in the last couple years, I was like, all right, and maybe it's just the decorations that I like and the music.
hmm.
But like some of these Christmas movies are just like, this is a trash plot. So
I mean, yeah, it's just
it's
mainly
pretty
there
bad. Like it's not
for the
as
things.
good
They
as it
skip
used to
over
be.
so many details and stuff
Yeah.
that like you didn't get to follow up on, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. There's this new Christina Milian one that my
Oh,
mom is
I'll
watching
be
and that
watching it.
my older sister said is really good. So I'll
She's
see.
in she's in multiple. Like she has
Really?
figured out her niche is
Oh, she
Christmas
does have
films.
like a Christmas film face,
Hmm.
like
She does.
she could be the, city girl that goes home and falls in love with the, I don't know,
But exactly. I was like,
lumberjack or something.
they
There's
don't know
always
either.
some small town thing. Or she could be like have a whole family and is trying to get her college aged kid home, or it could really go either way with Christina Milian, but
So many storylines that she could do. She has range for the
yeah.
holiday films. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so The Color Purple, which I think is on Max, it's like streaming on Max.
It is.
So let's just give that a shot. Let's just start slow.
Joy.
Let's not lock us into anything.
Fine.
We'll just start very slow.
This
Okay.
is
I don't
better
want to
than last year.
disappoint you.
This is better than last year
And then
when you
we
said you were
gotta,
going to watch it and then didn't. But now you saying you're going to watch it, so please don't
yeah,
make this happen twice. Is all I
we'll
ask.
see. We'll
This is your
see.
Christmas gift
A
to me.
free bird.
Your Christmas gift to me.
I'd rather send
Don't.
you a gift card, honestly. I'd just rather, hey, send you a note. Hey, didn't watch.
I'd be
Buy
so
yourself some
disrespectful.
pizza. Yeah. Hey, didn't watch. Buy yourself some pizza.
Here's some food to cook.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. No, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it in honor of Whoopi Goldberg's 69th birthday today, which you have a problematic take on with your problematic list that you're creating in your head. Um, I'll watch it in honor of Whoopi's birthday today. She is 69. She said something very suggestive on The View
I love
today.
that. I love that for
So,
her.
which, by the way, Sarah Haynes, who walked away, she got her spot blown up a couple weeks ago with one of the co-hosts talking about because her family, her mom and dad were in the crowd, and they were like, I think it was Anna or one of them was like, tell them about your lesbian relationship. And she was like, y'all stop. Like, so she dead ass had one.
I
I
mean,
was like, that's a
girl,
way
look
to
at
tell
that
your
suit.
parents.
Look at that
I
suit.
know. And that was what was
if
so
that
funny
didn't say
about
it.
that. It's just like very funny. I like Sarah Haynes. I have a little crush on her, a little white girl crush. But
Very
yeah, I
specific
was
crush,
like,
yeah.
it's a very specific crush. So I'll watch it for Whoopi. I'll watch it for Whoopi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just because, yeah. I know she's not in the new one, but still.
No, she is.
Is she?
Yes.
Is she prominently in there?
No.
No? Okay. What is her character in there?
It's a brief stint.
Oh, okay.
You'll
Well,
see when you
that's all
watch.
right. It's Cliff Notes version. I was like, is there like a a video clip notes version of this where I'm like, wow, it's such a great movie. Just like
I
I love the part
Mm-mm.
where
I've seen
at
it
the
enough to
25
know
the 25
specifics.
35 minute mark that they sung. I love that song.
Oh man.
So, all right, well, we'll see. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just do the color purple, I guess. Ugh,
We'll take it.
this
We'll take
feels
it. All
wrong.
right.
This
Shall we go ahead
feels
to
wrong.
Am I
Feels
back queer?
wrong. Yeah, I guess. I guess. Oh, I forgot Coleman Domingo's in it. Ugh, just makes me.
Uh-huh.
I feel like
Archie P.
my
Henson.
blood temperature, my temperature, my body temperature is absolutely up, but my blood pressure I feel is up as well.
Halle Bailey.
Signing on to this. Um,
So many great
doesn't
people.
matter.
Daniel Brooks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Great
yeah.
people.
Great people in it, and truly, no bullshit. Great people in there, so I'll watch for them. All right, let's move to our advice segment. Am I bad queer? Send your questions to us at badqueers.com. Hit us up on IG at badqueerspod or email us at badqueers@badqueers.com. All right. This first one is from Stevie. Stevie asks, am I a bad queer when I'm at straight weddings with my family? I find myself slipping into my straight girl persona, dress, heels, and all. It's a habit I picked up for family events and it keeps things simple, but I'm worried that I'm playing into stereotypes or hiding my true self. I feel fine with it, but a few friends said I'm not being authentic. Calling you out. They're like, that's my dress. I also I also haven't had to take a partner to these events, and I'm worried how that will affect me in the future for pretending to be more straight at traditional family events.
I love
Should
her
I change it
preparation.
up? All right. Should I change it up or keep the peace? Stevie, I don't know why you switching it up for your family. Just be who you are. I don't know what your normal style or how you identify, but yeah, there's no what piece. It's not a real piece if you have to keep it for one side and it,
I mean, the
compromises you. So
the funny thing
yeah,
is there's no issue. So you're like, keep the peace.
I well, I guess they're anticipating that there would be some
Mm-hmm.
static. But if
Watch
there
your move.
is, then um, yeah, I don't know how you identify and how differently you dress and your persona, but you don't need to switch it up for family, because you're not being you. And I don't know if you're a person who's paying your own bills, but you sound like an adult and like you should just be yourself. Like just be yourself. So,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
let your family react around it and adjust to it, but there's no reason to like straight it up for them. So, yeah, be yourself.
It's that
What you got,
song
Shana?
that's just like, be who you are. Be who
Mm-hmm.
you are.
Your pride. Mm-hmm.
That
So,
part. Yeah, I mean what Kris said, like you are proactively planning for something that hasn't happened. I wonder if your family has said anything that's problematic that has kept you from doing that, or if it's just more that you're stressed. Like if you just like to dress up for weddings, like it's okay to say that you like to dress up for weddings. Like you don't have to, like I feel like queer folks feel like they have to show up in a certain way, and if you're more masculine presenting in your day to day, but you're like, I do like to get dolled up and I do like to go out and I really like to do that for weddings, then like great, good for you. But if you literally want to dress a different way at these events, then do what you want. Like Kris said, our staple rule is, are you living in your own place, paying your own bills? Then nobody can really say anything about what you're gonna do. If any of those things aren't true and you're worried about it being cut off, then sure, wait. And then do it at your friends' weddings, do it at whatever weddings. But yeah, if you're changing because your friends have told you that you look fake, like a fake queer, um, then fuck your friends. If you're doing it because you're proactively trying to avoid problems that you don't know will happen with your family, respectfully, fuck your family. So whichever
that's
energy you
pretty
want to
much
go
it.
with, do
Yeah.
what you
Yeah,
want.
it might surprise you. Your family might be like, "Yeah, I'm glad you stopped wearing those dresses. You did not look comfortable." You
Mm-hmm.
never know. But you owe it to yourself to just be true to yourself and be authentic. So,
Yeah. Don't
and at
want you
this
walking
point in the
around.
world, you do not want to waste any more time like
Nope.
trying to please or not disrupt anything with people. It's like, fuck them. Wear what you want. So,
Yeah. Just think how funny it would be if like the first thing that I pictured was her being Professor Keating in her walk. And she puts heels on. And that's all I could think. I was like, I hope that's not you.
So stupid. That that kind of rock walk that
Yep.
she does. Yeah. It's so
Like I
funny.
love that like every few months it just starts trending again.
It
And
does
then Viola
every few
Davis is like,
months.
when will you stop? And we're like, never.
Yeah, no.
Never.
This new content creator born every day with that
Yep.
walk. Yeah.
Literally
It's like a
is.
starter pack of it. For a while it was Kerry Washington and her cry face would be
Mm-hmm.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're eating the Thursday night girlies up. So
Honestly.
shout out to them. Legends. Legendary.
Legends. That
Legends.
used to be my nights. Like I would cancel plans with
What a
people and be
night.
like,
What a
no,
night. What a night. What
no,
a night.
don't.
What great times on Twitter,
Yeah,
you know. Rest in peace. But that was must watch TV for real. So
it was. It
what a
was.
time. What a time. Mm, mm,
All
mm,
right.
mm.
Thanks, Stevie. Hope that helps.
Yeah, happy holidays.
All right. Our next Am I a Bad Queer comes from Ashanti. Ashanti says, Am I a bad queer? My partner and I have been talking about starting a family, but I'm hesitant. I know queer parenting is more visible now and it's amazing, but part of me worries about the social challenges our child might face. I'm afraid of judgment and how it could affect them growing up. It's making me feel selfish, but I can't shake the doubt. I hate that I am questioning whether I want to raise a kid in a queer household, but I don't know what to do to get over it. Help. I feel like I should have had you read this. Um, so Ashanti, I wish I knew where you were in the world. Because if you're like, let's just say for the US, if you're in like the South and things like that, I can understand. But a lot of the things that you're saying it's for the good of the child when really that's really just a projection of your own
Mm-hmm.
insecurities.
Yeah.
The kids are all right. The kids are more than
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more so that
Some of
you are afraid of having to deal with any of the repercussions of this by people saying offhand comments, by people judging, doing all of these things, all of the stuff that you listed? It just sounds like a thing that you need to get over and probably talk to your partner about and or talk about in a couples therapy as well so that you have better insight into where these insecurities are coming from because truly the proof is in the pudding. As long as you're good parents, they're going to be good kids. Like that's really
yeah,
as
generally.
simple as it is. I mean, yeah, I mean there's this
Generally.
is not a 100% test. I was like,
Yeah,
sometimes you have
but
great
yeah.
parents and asshole kids, like it just happens.
Woo! It just
But you know, for the
mhm.
most part, majority of the time, if you're, regardless of whatever the mix and match of the parental representation is, if you're good parents, you're going to have good kids. And that doesn't matter if it's two women who are raising a kid for doing that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I would look into queer parenting groups on Facebook and there's a lot of literature out there. Erica Hart also just did a session too for queer parents, but you know, there's a big community of us out there. Your concerns are real, valid concerns. They'll probably deal with some sort of judgment, but you can't protect against that even if you weren't queer. And straight people have been messing kids up for centuries. So whatever they say, or whatever judgment you get from that side, really doesn't matter. We need more queer parents raising great kids in this world, and yeah, I would talk to somebody about that. You know, a therapist, because these are a lot of things that these are your fears and projections, but there are also a lot of groups and a lot of people who feel the same way about you and have now navigated that. And I don't know where you live, so I know it obviously can be an environment. Things have obviously changed and will change with this new administration coming in, so it is a safety issue. But yeah, it's very rewarding, and you know when you have your kid, uh, I promise you, you're not going to care about what other people think. Because one thing that people give you is unsolicited advice about kids, how you should raise them, what they think. And the only thing that matters is that you and your partner are on the same page and, you know, raising them in a good household, safe household, affirming and all that. So, um, yeah, you got to get out of your head with that. But there are also a lot of resources that can support you during this time. So you feel a little less scared, you know. So, but don't psych yourself out, you know, with this, like how people will judge it because that can, it doesn't matter, but, you know, you can't control that. So,
I was like, they
yeah.
give unsolicited advice again, no matter who the
No
mix of the
matter
parents
who
are,
it is. Yeah.
everybody thinks they know best.
Yeah, they do. So that is, you know, it's very rewarding. So if you can get past that
Hmm.
and get over that, it is great on the other side here. So good luck to you in your TTC journey, try to conceive journey. All right, this last one is from Jules. Jules says, "Hey, Shana and Kris, I feel like a total outsider for saying this, but I don't enjoy most LGBTQ movies or shows. They often feel predictable, overly dramatic, or just don't represent my experience. When my friends talk about the latest queer film, I usually pretend I liked it just to avoid judgment. Am I a bad queer for not supporting queer media as much as I should? You're a bad queer for lying, just
I
say you
was
don't
about to
like
say, did your
it.
cousin write this? That's
I
crazy.
know. Jules. Okay, Chelsea. Um you don't have to like queer films. It's good that you support them. You could give your honest critiques. There's no shortage of queer folks that give their, critiques, and we certainly do on this show. So you definitely don't have to like it at all.
Hmm.
Just because it's a queer film. A lot of them are predictable and over dramatic, and don't reflect your experience because that's by design. We barely get our stories made, and if they're going to tell the story, it's going to be a specific, very vanilla formula of things in most
Hmm.
cases. I feel like it's getting better. There's a lot of very talented queer writers out there that are either producing web shows. Shout out to Natives, the series. Y'all check that out on YouTube. But there's also like it's growing. So it's like support it, but you could be critical, but don't like say all the, don't stay away from it just because it's a queer film. They are getting better. They are getting better. It is hard to get movies greenlit. I know in general with just Hollywood, because how things are, they're doing a lot of projects are getting greenlit that are like existing IP, like obviously the comic books and stuff like that are just, properties that are, reboots of the 90s. So there's a lot of really good people that aren't getting their projects greenlit, but it's coming and it's out there and we have to support it and you have to search it out. But there is a lot of really good queer writers, directors, creators who are creating great series. You might have to search to find it, but they're not all overly dramatic and represent your experience. But just keep in mind that to get these projects over the finish line, they have to go through a lot of very white, very straight hands. So, it probably gets tweaked a lot. So yeah, you're a bad queer for lying. Just tell them you don't like it. Don't be like, this sounds great. Um, so yeah, just keep it real, Jules. It's okay.
Hmm.
You're just a bad queer for lying, but you should still support queer media as much as you can, but you don't have to do all of it just because. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Not
You got
not worth
anything
the
on that?
effort.
You're like, nope, got that.
Nope. I mean, that
All
was
right, Chelsea.
fairly simple. Bad queer for lying.
Yeah, bad queer for lying. Just tell the truth here. It's
Hmm.
it's fine.
It's
Nobody's
fine.
gonna.
Also, if you
It's
go
really
into
fine.
films that are queer and automatically are just being like, oh, this is gonna be terrible, then you're also a bad queer
Then
because you're
you
not giving it
are
a
a bad
chance.
queer.
Like, because you're not
Absolutely.
giving it a chance. You're just being
Absolutely.
phobic against your own people. And that
Yeah.
is on, again, projection. What's happening
Mm-hmm.
here? So
Mm-hmm.
those would be the added layer that I would give. But otherwise, thanks, Chelsea, for
It's
writing in.
very true.
Jules.
Right.
Jules.
Thanks, Chelsea
Sorry.
Jules. All right, that was our advice segment. Am I bad queer? Got something on your mind? Don't keep it to yourself. Send your questions to badqueers.com. Hit us up on IG at badqueerspod or email us at badqueers@badqueers.com.
All right. What type of bad queers will we be if we didn't have unpopular queer opinions? I am upset that Raven Simone and her boo got to this conversation before I did because I had just had this conversation with a friend about all of our complaints for having a Love is Blind queer edition and the logistical
Mm.
nightmare that it could be because they had the conversation and I have been thinking about this and trying to think of a solution for this. If we had a queer Love is Blind, whether it's queer women or queer men, where are we putting everyone? How are we splitting them up?
Mm.
Because they'll all be in the same room and then want to hook up. And we're not going to go and do the stereotypical thing. We're going to put masks on one side and then femmes on the other side. Plus, if everybody's in the same room, they're going to see each other and then they're going to want to hook up and then they're going to be off the show because they've all done this. So, but then you don't want to take away the camaraderie that happens when they're all in the same space and they all gain these great friend groups and then they get to come back in the future and talk about stuff, add to the drama, whatever. So, I say to us, this is probably more so a community note than a bad queer opinion. We need to brainstorm a solution so that we can have this show running.
You were so concerned with how do they do it? But see, here's the thing. Maybe it doesn't matter. You just split them up. And if romances happen, it's pretty accurate.
Right? I'm like, can they like put in the contract, you can't hook up with whoever is in the room with you? But then what happens? You're in there and there's a baddie. And
but then that is like a double dog dare.
Exactly. Because
don't fall in love.
It's gonna make for such great TV. It's gonna make for such great TV. Like it's like you have this moment in the room with them, but then everybody's gonna go off into the pods and they're all gonna fall in love with the first person that they talk to because they're gonna have such deep conversations and it could solve the problem. Who knows?
I love it. It's just like they're gonna be like, no, get away from each other, because I feel like ours could be kind of a hybrid. Like we, again, ours is a little bit more fluid and expansive, so it could be like it's kind of real world-ish /
a bit,
Love is Blind, because it is, but it is gonna be that thing of like, I'm dating people that I can't see, but there's someone I could see right in front of me that I'm in love with. So it just kind of adds a little, spice to our show, because it's like we could fall in love on site. Like it can happen anywhere. So
coming from all angles, and it just brings joy. Like that could be the new level of Love is Blind, to have the in-person and to have the behind the wall. And it's like, are you going to choose the person that's right in front of you, or are you going to choose the person behind the wall? And that could be, because then it's like a whole new group of people that you haven't met, plus the people that are in the room with you.
It's there. Like ours could just be
all different angles.
Just how our community is. It's just like, it's just, I'm sure they'll try and do like a mask them thing. But maybe they shouldn't. Just let it be open and
just let it be.
Just separate people and hope that, well, not even hope. Like, I think that makes for good TV. I mean, especially for us, where it's just like
the cameras need to be.
They're falling in love
twice as much.
They're falling in love in the kitchen. Like it's not happening, and
or
that could triangle.
It could be I'm falling in love in the kitchen and I'm falling in love in the pod.
Exactly. Just the possibilities of that.
Oh my gosh. Wow. The cameras, they'd have to increase the budget for the cameras just to see, because we need to see what's happening when they're sleeping. We need to know what's happening like behind those scenes, because we don't get to see the sleeping portion of these things. So I would need to know what's happening there.
The honeymoon would be amazing. The meetup when they finally get to see everybody. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think you solved it. Like, that's it. Like, don't just have them together. You're queer. Just come on the show. Like we'll just separate y'all and we'll just see what happens.
We're gonna give everybody a number and you go to your rooms based off of that number. And it
because what if it's two masked people that fall in love?
Ooh. Representation.
And it would truly be Love is Blind, because you'd be like, wow, we connected over like PS5 and whatever else. It's just like, well, and then the reveal, and it's like, oh wait, it's a stuff, but I fell in love.
But I fell in love. And then they go up and like dap each other before they like.
I know, like what is that? Like? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is
the possibilities. It could
unlocked.
It can reinvigor the series. We have unlocked it.
I'm here for this. Netflix,
it would be awesome.
Send us the check.
We saw for it.
And or make us the hosts, because we would be there. Raven, Simone, and Herbu volunteered to be hosts, and I also think that would be hilarious because Raven would be petty, and I would like Raven that in the follow-up questions. So it would be it would be a good time. But Kris and I are here, so it would be great.
It's funny because I don't know how. I'm sure her wife is like good at it. They have their podcast, but every time I see clips of her talking, it's because she's gotten in trouble for something. So like I don't even know how good her question asking is, because it's like every time I see her talk, it's like her getting in trouble for like not watching That's So Raven, which by the way, rewatching with my wife.
Yes, you have mentioned
Emery
this.
loves it. Yes, it's good. I didn't watch it, but growing up, but it's good.
So funny.
It's good. Yeah. Well, I think you solved it. That is wonderful to hear. That's wonderful to hear. We solved it today.
Done and done.
we didn't cover this, but my community, I just wanted to, it's not even a community, I just wanted to send some love to, how do I, so
Take your time.
without giving the whole thing, Boosie's daughter, which is, I think her name is Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Ivy? We didn't get to talk about Boosie still bringing his daughter's sexuality up, but let me make sure I have her name. It's Poison Ivy. I was like, it's Ivy something, but I didn't want to call it Poison Ivy. A couple, like, it was September, end of September, Boosie was on some interview show and was listen, no one says gay things more than, or has LGBTQ plus people in their mouth more than Boosie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he was talking about keeping his daughter away from the rest of his children and not wanting them to get contaminated. And she knows how I feel about this. And Poison Ivy had gotten on Instagram and had this really heartfelt like video on Instagram. And I just want to like send her some love and just let her know that the community loves her. I can't imagine having such a openly homophobic dad and
Mm-hmm.
him bringing you up, because again, he brought her up and she had to respond to this. But like how tough it is to do that in public, and have to, and even in her response video, I felt she kept it really respectable. And it triggered me because it's just like, that thing of like, you love your family, especially Black families, you love your family kind of in spite of these things. And um that's tough. Like that's tough to navigate. And like with people being like, yeah, fuck him. And it's like, that's her dad. And it's harder for the person in that position to just totally be like, fuck that guy. I mean, you hope, and I think she has her own money and stuff like that. But like that's a difficult struggle that I would not wish that upon anybody else. Like people
Mm-hmm.
being in my business about it, my dad being openly homophobic and bringing me up and saying some shit like keeping me away from my siblings so they don't get contaminated. And just the whole thing of like having to deal with relatives that like, because people are in their comments, just like, oh, that's still your dad, that's still your dad, that's still your dad. And it's just like, fuck that. But I just know it's more complicated than being like, fuck Boosie, don't ever talk to him again.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think she navigated it with a lot of grace. And I know that that was probably helpful to a lot of like Black queer kids that have to navigate that, especially with the holidays coming up.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
sending her some love because woof. Like I don't know how I would handle that. Especially at her age, like I'd probably be a little bit more abrasive with like at that age, going live and be like playing your dad's music, being like, fuck this guy, and then spilling the secrets. So I think she handled it with grace. So shout out to her. Shout out to Poison Ivy. And I think she has a podcast and platform. So go support her and everything. And for everybody else who's struggling with homophobic relatives, um, you got to figure out the way that you want to live with them and how you deal with them and all that. And it's not always as simple as like cutting them off.
Mm-hmm.
Even though sometimes it is more healthier, but everybody has to navigate that, how they navigate that. So don't feel like you have to cut your everybody's situation is going to be very different. So, it's not a one size fits all and all
Yeah.
that. So, you know, I saw people getting more disrespectful than her and all that. And, I'm sure to some extent she's like, I don't have to get disrespectful because there's enough people who will defend me. But I just can't imagine that situation. Like, that's very disheartening to have a father out there that is just, whoo, so open. Like, literally the club president of the anti LGBTQ, like, Black club. But,
Mm-hmm. That means he's going to
you
get a
know,
position in Trump's
he's already asking him for
thing
something.
already.
Yeah.
Little
I
board.
can't, that's one of the phenomenons. I was like, I don't know how y'all made this man bigger than what he is. Like, listen, he has couple legendary songs, really just one for me, but they've made Boosie into like a thing. Like, he is, it's like, how do y'all like this person? But people like trash every day. So, mm.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Poison Ivy. So,
You got this, girl.
yeah, yeah. Managing it well. Managing it well. Again, I can't imagine. Yeesh. all this on social and having like your parents on social. Like I can't imagine
Mm-hmm.
having active parents on social like that. It would be crazy. Like your dad going on IG Live. It's just like, what? Like, why? So
I mean, that's what this next generation has to deal with.
yeah.
So
Yeah, they
here we
do.
are.
Beefing with your parents on IG is
Yep.
crazy. But shout out to old parents that don't know how to use social. My mom says she gets on once a week,
Right.
and she'll like things. And I was like, shout out to you.
I was
Stay
like,
off of
I
Facebook.
love it with my uncle. He only talks on Facebook market or Facebook in general in all
Mm-hmm.
caps. And he is
Just
immediately
refuses
the
to
person
take
that
it
like
off.
I could
Yeah.
post a photo of anything else
Mm-hmm.
and would be like, "Hi Shayna, give me a call."
That is
You
funny.
know,
The relatives that try and message you through, the
your
messages like that, like
posts.
it's so funny. Yeah.
It just cracks me up. I'm like, thank you. Thank you so
It's
much
really
for being
endearing
here.
though. Like
Thank
it's
you so
oh.
much.
Sorry, I'm
So
not gonna call you,
funny.
but
So thank you.
thank you. So
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. But we would never leave you without giving shout outs to our faves. My shout out this week is to a book. It's called Trans Kids, Our Kids, written by members of the Southern Equality Team. Trans Kids, Our Kids is stories and resources from the front lines of the movement for transgender youth, shares what they've learned, helping trans youth and their families as a wave of anti-transgender laws has passed nationwide. It features stories of hope and resilience from trans youth, their families, and the communities supporting them. You can purchase at independent bookstores and all major publishers, and be sure to follow at Southern Equality on IG.
All right, my shout out, keeping the book train going, is a new book called Are We Allowed to Just Dream, which is a new book published by David, sorry if I butcher your last name, Adekoya, sorry, of the LadderBoyz. And it explores the impact of Black footballers who have had a big impact on the growth of the beautiful game and the wider throes of culture. So this is like a Black soccer or football for our international folks book. It's divided into 5 chapters: beauty, gift, imagination, action, and celebration. Each section blends archival photography, art, and design mixed with poetic storytelling to celebrate the lives of the footballers who shaped the sport and reveal the challenges that they face, because good God.
Mm-hmm.
That is another level of racism that, ooh, even as a young kid, I was like, woo, it is crazy over there. They're throwing bananas.
Mm-hmm.
So follow, the book is available to purchase wherever you get books. You should get it from Black Bookstore, but you could also follow them on IG for the book at Are We Allowed to Dream on IG.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Take care.
It's me again. Can we talk about things? I'm sorry that I'm